In this video, I'm going to show you how to get ahead of 99% of other Airbnb hosts. And it's not going to take a lot because the average Airbnb host in America right now has 1.2 properties. So listen, to beat average Joe, it'll be pretty easy. The difference is they do it as a hobby. If you're looking to play a hobby or do a hobby, then guess what? Go play pool or go do darts. But if you want to build an Airbnb empire, pay attention and watch this video all the way through because I'm going to share with you how to beat out most of your competition who are doing this as a fun side gig. That being said, my name is Investor Mike. I became the #1 Airbnb host in America right now, teaching you guys all the real stuff, no fluff, but giving you the insider stuff, the transparency of what you need to do, where to go, how to start, how to finish, and how to automate. That being said, the first thing I want you to do if you want to beat out your competition is make a decision on if you want to do this yourself and wing it, or are you going to get help? I'm going to share with you both sides. If you wing it, you're going to spend a lot more money, a lot more time, and a lot more energy. And I'm going to share with you why. Number one, you have to get into this business called arbitrage, which is a fancy way of saying, hey, we're going to get into this business without purchasing any property. We can rent the property from a landlord, get their permission, and put it on Airbnb. That's called rental arbitrage. Renting a property, getting a landlord's permission, putting the property in Airbnb. We don't have to buy the property. We don't have to deal with banks. We don't have to deal with interest rates. We don't have to deal with large down payments. You don't have to deal with your credit score. Okay? So what you can do is just rent a property from a landlord, get a legal document signed called an addendum, and then take the property, put it on Airbnb, and start getting guests to show up there, which pay for the rent and pay for the utilities, hopefully, if you know what you're doing, and then the rest is your profit that is left over. Okay? My job is to help you mitigate the risk of doing this the wrong way. So the first thing is making a decision whether you want to do this yourself or you want help. I will tell you this, I'm a big proponent on coaching. I've spent millions of dollars with Grant Cardone, who is a billionaire, okay? I believe in the 10X movement, okay? I believe in somebody pushing and shoving and holding people accountable and helping them through the process, because if you're here and you want to go here, the closest way to do that is to close that gap from somebody who's already there, okay? If you're here and you want to go here, all you got to do is connect to the people who are here and figure out what they're doing so you can shortcut your success. So I'm a strong proponent on coaching and mentorship with the right person, not just any guru online who says, is flexing in front of a Lambo saying, hey, how to make $1 million in 3 months, okay? You need to run from those people. If they're 24 years old and they're trying to teach you how to do Airbnbs and they have 3 units, probably go the other way, right? Now, the thing about it is this. If you're going to wing it, just understand the cost of getting into Airbnb. And you can just Google this. How much does it cost to get into Airbnb business, okay? Rental arbitrage, somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Let me identify where these costs are so you can, kind of understand the movement. Number one, you've got rent payment. We're going to say $2,000. You got your deposit, security deposit. That's $2,000, okay? We're at $4,000. Now you've got furniture. Call that $3,000 to $4,000. Now we're at $7,000. And now you've got software, okay? Which is a couple $100, $300, $400 a month, okay? For the real stuff. Don't get the fake one, okay? And then you've got legal contracts, and so you're about $7,500 on average to get into the Airbnb business. Now, that's without a coach, right? Because these factors are what I just told you, and that's not having somebody help you. But what if you said, you know what? Instead of me doing it this way, where I'm going to wing it, not know what I'm doing, wonder how do I start? Where do I begin? What are my first steps? What property should I be looking for? X, Y, Z. What if you said, what if I could get help from the right coach? I didn't have to worry about my first month of payment. I didn't have to worry about furniture. I didn't have to worry about software. And I could have the #1 coach helping me. Would that make sense? Do I have your attention? Because I'm telling you something. This is what my students go through. So that's the first thing. Make a decision. You can wing it, or you can have the right help and do it the right way. The failure rate, just so you guys know, is over 85% of people that get into Airbnb fail in the first year. And why my students are in the top 10% is because they have my help. They save a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and they have me standing by their side the entire time. Choice is yours. That equates to less money, time, and energy on the front end, which allows you to get into the business a lot quicker, which allows you to get the business moving quicker and beat out the competition who's out there spending the time, energy, and money on furniture, who's out there trying to figure it out and Google everything and have 9,000 sticky notes on their desk because they're trying to figure out what is my next step. You guys understand that when you go online on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, they're going to give you bits and little, they're going to give you a little taster of what really happens. And so you're going to go there and you're going to follow a bunch of different people and have a bunch of half-baked pies because you're not really understanding. Because one person says do this, one person says get apartments, one person says do corporate leasing, one person says do single-family house, the other person saying you should start with co-hosting. You need to go with one person who's true, who understands the business, and who that you relate to, right? That you believe is going to be there to push you and shove you. Okay? I've got Grant Cardone pushing and shoving on me. What do you think I do to my students? Hold you accountable by holding your hand every step of the process along the way. Okay, so let me tell you how else you're going to get ahead. Okay, if you're in the Airbnb business or you're getting into the Airbnb business, we should be thinking about the cleaners. If you can hire a cleaner for $16, $17, $18 per hour versus hiring a cleaning company that's going to charge you per job versus per hour, you're going to save a lot of money. Let me give you an example. A typical job on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath Airbnb clean, let's just call it $200. Okay, that's what a company will charge you. But what if you can hire Jane for $20 an hour and it takes her 3 hours to clean the property, which is about right on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So now you've spent $60 with Jane cleaning, and all you did was just show her what she needed to do to clean the property versus $200 because it's a third-party company that you're going to hire and they're going to spend, cost you $200. So now you just saved $140 per clean. And what if throughout the month you had 4 cleans, which is about right, 4 or 5 cleans. $140 savings times 4 or 5 cleans, you're talking about a $700 to $1,000 extra money in your pocket that you don't have to pay a cleaner. So this is how you get ahead of people. The people that are getting their ass kicked right now on Airbnb because they got into COVID, thought that it was going to be easy, and now they're getting, they're getting their ass handed to them. Right? And now they're the kind of people that are hiring management companies at 25% of their revenue. They're hiring cleaning companies that are very expensive, and they're just not making the profit they thought they would make. So guys, never, in my opinion, hire a management company. I will show you how to run this business in a second in literally 2 to 3 hours per week, and that's pushing it. Never, if you can, and again, in the beginning, if you have to hire a cleaning company, you can do that. But just understand that the mindset I just told you is that we want to convert to an hourly rate person because you're going to save money in the long run by far. Okay? The other thing is this, the mindset. Okay? This is a business. Airbnb is a business. It is not a side gig. Now, of course, it could start as a side gig, right? But is it a side gig thing? It shouldn't be. It should be a side gig thing until it surpasses your earned income that you're going to work 9 to 5 on. Now, maybe you're an entrepreneur right now and you're like, look, I've got rentals and I want to convert those into, some short-term rentals like you got traditional tenants, you want to go to Airbnb. There's a massive upside of doing this, which is what I help investors do. Maybe you're looking to get into the business and you're like, I'm a 9 to 5, but I want to start this on the side and eventually build up an empire so that I can walk away from the 9 to 5. So you have to have a mindset of this. My mentor told me this a long time ago. So you got to show up, man. You got to show up even when your eyes are bleeding. And the reality is most people want to be comfortable. And I will tell you, most people die poor, overweight, and lonely. And the reality is this, you guys got to stop getting away. You have to, this mindset of like, I need to be comfortable, right? I need to work, I need a work-life balance, right? You're going to burn out. You got your wife and husband telling you you're going to burn out. Right? Dude, listen, I don't burn out, man. Candles burn out. I don't burn out. You guys want to do and have an easy life? This is the way it goes. If you decide that you want to have an easy life in your retirement, you put in the work now. Hard work now equals easy life. Easy work now, hard life. If you want to be a Walmart greeter or on the roof at 75 years old, not because you choose to, but because you have to, then just decide right now, I'm going to do the comfortable stuff in my life. And I want to play it safe. I'm not going to take any risk. I'm going to work my 9 to 5, go home, I'm going to cook, I'm going to spend, do the hard work now, and you will have an easy life. So the mindset, 80% of the success we have in our life comes right between our ears, guys. 80% comes between your ears. You have to believe, and you have to put in the work now so that you can have a life that you've always dreamed of. And I'm telling you something, if you just do it, you show up, and instead of going home on your 9 to 5 and saying, you know what, I'm ready to kick back and watch Netflix, say, you know what if I put 10, 15 minutes into my side gig, right? AKA Airbnb arbitrage. And you just do this for a short period of time and start accumulating Airbnbs with my help, then guess where you can be in 6 months to a year from now? Bye-bye 9 to 5. That's what I can help you do. My job is to mitigate the risk of you getting into an industry where you're going to get into the wrong property, get into the wrong area, and now you can't get a landlord to say yes, and it's just a struggle. I help you with these things, guys, so you can get past those barriers, which is why I'm #1 in the country. okay? You want to get ahead of 99% of people? When you get your first property, don't go on Airbnb only. Get on Airbnb, vrbo, which is VRBO, and get on bookings.com. Be on 3, it's called omnipresent, be on 3 channels. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna help you get it way more ahead, which is not only am I gonna take these 3 channels that we're gonna be on, so we have bookings coming in from each area, but also we're gonna take these 3 channels and we're gonna put them onto a property management software. And we're gonna use Guesty, it's called Guesty for Host. So we take these 3, Airbnb, VRBO, and bookings over here, we put them onto one platform that has one calendar. So now you're managing one calendar, and it also does the pricing for you. So based on seasonality, based on demand, based on supply, based on weekends, based on weekdays, based on, different events in your city, and it does all that calculation for us. Now, the cleaners also have this software. They need to know when to go in, they know when to clean, they know when the next person leaves, they know when to go in to clean again for the next person. It's automation, and that leads me into the one thing that I'm gonna tell you. When I got started in this business, okay, how I got ahead of 99% of people was because I figured out automation early. Because in the beginning, I was spending 20, 30 hours a week trying to figure out how to run this business with one property. And now with our portfolio, I spend less than 15 minutes a day because I figured out automation. So here's the thing. The choice you have to make right now is this. Do you want to wing it and get it yourself, or do you want help? Because everything I talked about is this. It relies on the expertise of somebody who's been doing this for a very long time and understands the game. And if you and I work together, I'll save you thousands of dollars on the front end. I'll save you a ton of time of researching, energy to try to figure this out. And I'm going to give you the sauce in the beginning, okay? So you guys will have access to me 24/7, and you'll have the #1 coach helping you throughout the process, knowing where to go and save you thousands of dollars on the front end. Choice is yours. If you want help, put the word Airbnb in comments, and I will personally reach out to you to chat with you to see if we can work together if it makes sense. God bless, be safe, guys. This is how you beat 99% of the people, but it all starts here. Make a decision. Do you want this for you and your family, or do you want to sit on the sidelines and work the 9 to 5 and build somebody else's dreams, or do you want to build your own for you and your family? Message me the word Airbnb if you're ready to rock and roll. Let's roll.